Here's a swing and a high fly ball going deep to left. They do it. Back to the wall goes Berra. It is over the fence, over, and the Pirates win. The 1960 World Champions defeat the New York Yankees. The Pirates 10 and the Yankees 9.
Hi everybody, this is Apba Brian and Apba Baseball Classics, and I'm not expecting that Bill Mazeroski in today's game will hit a walk-off home run and catch lightning in a bottle, but already this project has created its own iconic moments. With the American League scoring a record 8 runs in the third inning of the 1941 World Series and 14 runs for the game, most ever by a team in All-Star game history. And then in yesterday's game, we had a furious 7th inning comeback in the game between the 1912 Boston Red Sox and New York Giants in the World Series, stunted only by a base running mistake. This is Apba Baseball Classics, where yesterday's stars performed through cards and dice, classic games on our tabletops.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back, for it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Hello again, everybody. This is Apba Brian, and today's game is going to be using the Stratomatic Basic Game Engine. There's a few advanced things I use for base advantage and base stealing, but basically, I'm kind of like Sportsman Z. When I play Stratomatic, I'd rather use basic baseball. By the way, Sportsman Z channel out of Chicago is another great community channel, and invite you to check him out. He has some terrific content, both in his games and his sports commentary. Also, before you begin, you may have noticed that as we play this classic iconic moment, Bill Mazeroski's walk-off home run in the 1960 World Series, Whitey Ford is not the starting pitcher for Game 7, and I never heard Whitey Ford criticize his manager, Casey Stengel, but one time, and the one criticism he had was not starting Game 1 of the 1960 World Series. There were 2 days off scheduled into the World Series, and he could have started 3 games with a 4-man pitching rotation. Could have started Game 1, could have started Game 4 and Game 7, but that didn't happen. Art Ditmar drew the opening day start. Ford didn't start till Game 3, and he pitched a 4-hit shutout in that game, won the game 10-0. And then when he pitched again in the series, it was a 12-0 shutout. So the chairman of the board, as he usually was in World Series competition, was darn near perfect. And that's the only criticism he believes he should have started games 1, 4, and 7 in that 1960 World Series. He didn't, because he didn't have his usual year in 1960. He only won 12 games, 3.04 ERA, not up to his standards. But his postseason play was always up to his standards. All right, with all that being said, let's play ball. Bobby Richardson steps into the box against 20-game winner Vern Law of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Here's the first pitch of the game. 5-4 is a catcher's card X. Smokey Burgess is a 4 catcher, and the roll is 3-4. That's a pop-up, and he manages to haul that in. That the first out is in the books. That brings up shortstop Tony Kubek. 4-4, fly ball to right field. Roberto Clemente measures it and picks it out of the sky. 2 up and 2 down for the Yankees. Here is Roger Maris, the MVP of the 1960 series for the American League, there are 7 MVPs, league MVPs, current and former, in this game. For the Pirates, you got Clemente and Grote. Grote was the 1960 MVP, and then there's 5 for the Yankees. There's a pitch to Roger Maris. 5-11 is a fly ball to left field, X. That is Bob Skinner. He is a 3. 8-3 is a out, hauled in by Skinner. The Yankees are retired. 3 up and 3 down. We go to the bottom of the first. Pittsburgh coming to bat. Bullet Bob Turley is on the Hill of Thrills for New York. He was 9-3, 3.28 in 1960. Bill Verdon steps into the box, the bespectacled center fielder for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Pitch from Turley, 2-7, is a base hit for Bill Verdon. Pirates have the leadoff batter on. He is fairly fast. C. Stealing. The Yankees are not going to hold the runner. Here is Dick Grote. 1-6 is a base hit, and Verdon will go to third. Pirates have first and third, and nobody out in the first. Bob Skinner. .110 is a ground ball pitcher A. The Yankees were not playing the infield in, so scored a 1-6-3 double play. Law to shortstop Grote to first baseman Turley to the shortstop Kubek, and then Muscower at first. Run scores, though. Runner on third scores, and it's now Pirates 1 and the Yankees nothing. Every game I get a defender up off the bench to make a play. I did it there with a double play. That was special. Here is Rocky Nelson with 2 outs and the base is clear and the Pirates up by 1. Pitch to Rocky Nelson, 1-7. It's going to be a ground ball to third base. Clete Boyer, a smooth-feeling third baseman for the New York Yankees, makes a long throw across the diamond, and that's the third out. But Bill Verdon has scored the first run of the game. Pirates 1, Yankees nothing. Mantle, Berra, and Skowron due to hit in the top of the second inning. Vern Law goes to work. The Deacon winds and pitches. 2-3 is going to be a base on balls to Mickey Mantle. He is a B base stealer. The advance rules for stealing, the pitcher's got defense has to decide whether they're going to hold a runner or not. Burgess is a 4. That only takes 1 off the stealing number for Mantle. So if they're holding him and he decides to go 1-12, he'll be safe. 60% chance. Here is Yogi Berra. Pirates are not going to hold the runner. They don't want to create the holes in the infield. Mantle takes his lead. Here's the pitch to Yogi Berra. 56 is a pop-up to the shortstop. Dick Grote waves his arm and calls for him. He makes the play. Berra's retired. That's the first out. Here is Moose Skowron, 309 hitter in 1960. 4-10 is a fly ball to center field. And Mantle will hold it first. Verdon on the play, 2 outs. All right, here's Johnny Blanchard with 2 outs. Didn't have quite the year in 1960 he had in 61. He hit 21 homers over half a season and over 300, but 242 with 4 homers, 99 at bats in 60. Mantle is going to try to steal 1-15. Will be his opportunity to be safe. 3, he is safe. It's a stolen base for the Mick. Sorry for hitting the camera. He's in scoring position. And now the pitch to Johnny Blanchard. 4-6 is a fly ball to center field. Bill Verdon will make the routine play. 3 outs. Yankees are retired. We go to the bottom of the second. Pirates 1, Yankees nothing. In the 1960 World Series, the New York Yankees scored, I think, 55 runs, which was the most at that time by any one team in the World Series. They had some lopsided scores, and there were 3 wins going into Game 7, 16-4, 10-0, and 12-0. But in the games that Pittsburgh won, as you know, those games were closely played and lower scoring games. Roberto Clemente steps into the box, bottom of the second inning. 6-9 from Bob Turley is going to be a long drive. It is going to be a 16 on the split. So 6-9 is going to be a double for Roberto Clemente. Here's Smokey Burgess. All he ever does is hit line drives. Very solid hitter, 294 hitter in 1960. Turley goes into the stretch. Here's the pitch to Smokey Burgess. 1-6 is a base hit if it's a 1 through 9. And that's a single, 1 base advance. Clemente goes to third. Once again, the Pirates have first and third with nobody out like they did in the first inning. They only got 1 run in the first inning. But they're applying a lot of pressure on the Yankee starter, Bob Turley. Bullet Bob's got Don Hoke to pitch to. First and third, Yankees are going to play the infield back. Hopefully they can roll up another double play. Here's the pitch. 4-9. That's a split result. Line drive to Bobby Richardson. He snags it. 1 away. Hoke hit it on the nose, but right at Bobby Richardson, who was the MVP of the World Series. And that's the first time that a team with a losing World Series had an MVP. It had to happen because the MVP choice had to be in by the 8th inning of the Game 7. And the Yankees were leading in the 8th inning. Here's a pitch to Bill Mazeroski. The infield still playing back, hoping for that double play. Maybe Turley doesn't want to pitch to him. He is. He's going to go ahead and pitch. 87 walks is kind of high for 173 innings. Don't want to load the bases and have him walk another one. Here's a pitch to Mazeroski. 1-8. Ground ball to third. The only play for Clete Boyer is to first base. 5-3. So Clemente scores. Burgess goes to second, and the Pirates lead 2-0. 2 outs. Now the pitcher, Vern Law. Two sevens, a swing and a miss, strike 3. That ends the inning. Pirates score again. They lead 2-0. I did replay this game about a year ago on the channel using the Apba format. And in that game, I think I did have Whitey Ford pitch Game 7, and the Yankees won 6-1 in that replay. Clete Boyer leads off for New York. Here's the pitch from Vern Law to Clete Boyer. 6-3 is right field X. And that's a solid Bobby Clemente playing in right field. 15 on the 1 column. It's going to be an out. Clemente makes the play. 1 down, and that brings up Bob Turley. 4-4 is a fly ball to the right side. And Clemente also makes that play. 2 outs. 2 fly balls, 2 down. And here is, top of the order, Bobby Richardson. 3-7, 1 through 6 split for a single, and that's a base hit. Let's see if Richardson can get something started for the Yankees in the third with 2 outs. He's at first. C. Steeler. Pirates are not going to hold the runner. So his chances of steal are 1 through 8, 40%, not great odds. Here is Kubek. 2-2 is a foul out to the catcher, Smokey Burgess. That's the end of the Yankees' third, the bottom of the third inning. 2-0 Pittsburgh. All right, top of the order for the Pirates. That means Billy Verdon's turn to hit. Here's the pitch to Verdon. He's 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored, 3-7. Ground ball to Tony Kubek at shortstop. The throw to first, just in time. Verdon is out. Here's the NL MVP, Dick Groat, 325 hitter. And as you know, he was a collegiate basketball player, an outstanding player at Duke University. Here's the pitch to Dick Groat, 5-12. Let's get Turley's card up there. That's the fly ball to shallow center field. Mickey Mantle comes in for it and makes the catch on the run. 2 outs. And now Bob Skinner, longtime Pittsburgh Pirate, left fielder, rolled into a double play his first time up. 3-7 is a hit. We'll see what kind of a hit. 16 is a single for Skinner. Possibility for a 2-out rally for like the Yankees had in the top of the inning. 2-out single. Skinner's at first. Here's Rocky Nelson, 300 hitter, 7 homers and 200 at bats. 1-6 is going to be a sharply hit ball through the infield, base hit. All right, on that result, there was no asterisk after the single, so when it's blank like that, Skinner can decide to go to third. Running speed is 1 through 14. Plus with 2 outs, we add 2 to that, so 1 through 16. They're going to make the throw to third because Nelson, as a E-player, will not advance to second base on the throw. And he is safe at third. So now it's runners on the corners. Rocky Nelson's at first, Bob Skinner's at third, and here is Roberto Clemente. Pirates have scored 1 run in the first 2 innings. Great chance to score here. Here's the pitch to Clemente, 3-9. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Bob Turley survives that threat. We go to the top of the 4th. Pirates 2, Yankees nothing. All right, Roger Maris will lead off the top of the 4th inning for the Yankees, 2 runs down. He came over from the Kansas City Athletics, came up with the Cleveland Indians, and then was traded to Kansas City and then traded to New York. While in Kansas City, he made his home in Raytown, Missouri, where we store our camper. And we're going to use that camper this weekend to go down to Springfield, Missouri, and watch the Royals AA team, Northwest Arkansas, play the Springfield Cardinals this weekend. Here's the pitch to Roger Maris. 6-5 is a ground ball to shortstop. And Dick Groat is a 2. 19-2 is a error on Dick Groat, 1 base. That could open the door for the Yankees. I said camping in Springfield this weekend. Actually, I'm playing this game on Friday, and it'll go up on YouTube on Monday. So by the time you see this, all that would have already happened. Here is Mickey Mantle. 3-12. Fly ball to right field, plus an injury. Clemente makes the play. Maris holds at first. We roll for an injury. On the injury chart, we roll a split die. And 18 is bad news for Mickey Mantle. 8-game injury. We're going to need a new center fielder. Timeout. All right, so we will insert Hector Lopez into the lineup. He'll play right field. He's a 4 right fielder. Roger Maris will move to center field. And he is a center field 3. That really compromises the Yankees outfield. They're now 4-3-4 in outfield alignment. Defensively, that's not good. Here is Yogi Berra. 1 down, 1 on. 3-8 is a ground ball to shortstop. That's a double play ball. 6-4-3 double play. And a disastrous 4th inning for the Yankees. Go to the bottom of the fourth, Pittsburgh 2, New York 0. Smokey Burgess leads off for the Pirates. He is 1-for-1. Let's get the Pirate logo up there. And that's a 1-4 roll. That's a ground ball back to Turley. He fields it, throws to first. Retires the slow running Smokey Burgess. Don Hoke, tough competitor, hard-nosed ball player. Here's a pitch to Hoke, 4-6. Base on balls. Bob Turley has been pitching around a lot of base runners. Here is Bill Mazeroski. 6-4 is a ground ball shortstop. X Tony Kubek is a 2. And 17-2 is going to be a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play. That takes us to the top of the fifth inning. Pittsburgh 2 and New York 0. Yankee first baseman suffered an injury the last half of the 1959 season, but he recovered nicely in 1960 to hit .309 with 26 homers, and he had a great World Series. His actual stats in the World Series were .375 with 2 homers and 6 RBIs. Here's a pitch to Bill Skowron, hoping to get something started for his Yankees, who have done nothing against 20-game winner Vern Law. Here's the pitch. 4-5. Ground ball to Mazeroski at second base. Bill Skowron is the first out of the top of the fifth. Johnny Blanchard. 6-7. 1-3 will be a single. 7 is too high for this. Wait a minute. 6-7. 1-13. I misread that. That is a base hit for Johnny Blanchard. One out, one on. Not very fast. Here's Cletus Boyer, who's happy to not be hitting in Yankee Stadium. He disliked right field in Yankee Stadium. Here's a pitch to Cleet Boyer. 6-8 is a single for Boyer. Blanchard's not very fast. He's not going to try for third. First and second, New York. Tying runs are on. Bob Turley's the hitter. Bob Turley's going to try to lay one down, and that we just roll 2 dice and add them together. Here's a pitch to Turley, 8. Batters thrown out by the first baseman. Runners advance. Successful sacrifice, 3-4. Mazeroski covering first on the play, and the Yankees have second and third. But now 2 outs. And the top of the order, MVP for the 60 World Series, Bobby Richardson. Here's the pitch from Vern Law, 4-5. Is a swing and a miss, strike 3. Yankees leave the 2 runners stranded in scoring position, and we go to the bottom of the fifth. Still 2-0 Pittsburgh. Pitcher Vern Law leads off for the Pirates. 5-6 is a fly ball to left field. Yogi Berra is playing left field, and he makes the catch. 1 out. Bill Verdon. 4-11's a ground ball to Moose Skowron at first base. Flips to Bob Turley covering. 2 down. And now Dick Grote, a .325 hitter, NL MVP in 1960. Here's the pitch to Dick Grote. 2-5 is a ball hit hard toward the left field gap. That was a split. Let's see, let me double check that result. 2-5. 5 was the roll, so that was not cut off. It went to the wall. Double. That brings up Bob Skinner with a chance to knock in a runner who is out there on the pond in scoring position. Dick Grote, here's a pitch to Bob Skinner. 4-4. Fly ball to right field. And that goes to Hector Lopez, who just came into the game when Maris was injured. That ends the inning. We go to the top of the sixth. Pirates 2, Yankees 0. All right, Vern Law has been sailing along as we go to the top of the sixth inning. He's given up only 3 hits, all singles, 1 walk. He's got a tough part of the order to deal with. Tony Kubek, Roger Maris, and Mickey Mantle in the sixth. Here's the pitch to Kubek. 1-7 is a pop-up to first base. Kubek is retired. He is 0 for 3 in the actual Game 7 of the 60 World Series. He took a ground ball off the throat. I felt so sorry for him. I was 8 years old watching that game on TV and knew that had to hurt. Here is Roger Maris. 6-7 is a split result. Base hit for Roger. Fairly fast runner, but only E on the stealing, so Pirates are not going to hold the runner. Here's Hector Lopez, batting for the first time after replacing Mickey Mantle, who had to come out of the game. Here's the pitch to Lopez. 5-6 is a pop-up. On the infield, Dick Grote is under it, makes the catch. 2 outs. Yogi Berra. He represents the tying run. 2-7 is a pop-up also on the infield. Under it is the first baseman, Rocky Nelson, and he makes the catch. I played first base. I hated pop-ups. I didn't mind anything hit on the ground, but I did have a little trouble with pop-ups. Here we go, the bottom of the sixth. Pirates 2, Yankees 0. First baseman Rocky Nelson steps into the box for the Buccos. 2-6 is possibly a single. It's a split. 1-8 will be a single. And 18 is a line out to Bobby Richardson. Good play by Richardson. 1 down. Rocky Nelson's 1 for 3 on the day. Here's Bobby Clemente. Clemente 1 for 2 with a double and a strikeout. 6-8. That's going to be a hit and a base hit. Single for Clemente. D stealing. Fast runner 1-15. As the Yankees are not going to hold for the steal. Smokey Burgess. 4-6 is a base on balls. Two on and 1 out. Turley is in trouble again. He has pitched pretty well in trouble. Don Hoke. Turley's been helped by at least 1 double play. That back in the 4th inning. And then he got second and third. He's with 2 outs in the 5th. Struck out Richardson in that situation. Here's a pitch to Don Hoke. 5-7. 1-10 will be a double. It's a deep drive to center. Let's see if Maris gets to it. 16, he does. But it's not Maris. It's caught in right field. That's Hector Lopez, who, when he played third base for the A's, I thought he was the worst defensive player I had ever seen. But better as an outfielder. Lopez makes the play. First and second, 2 outs. Mazeroski will get walked intentionally to pitch to the pitcher. There's a pitch to Vern Law. 4-3. Ground ball back to the pitcher. That ends the inning. Bob Turley once again pitches out of trouble. It's still 2-0. The Pirates have stranded 8 runners left on base. They might regret that. These are the Yankees, and if Vern Law tires, there could be trouble. Here is Bill Skowron leading off the top of the 7th inning. 6-3 is a fly ball to right field. That's Clemente's territory. He is a 1 outfielder. 17-1 is an out. Here's catcher Johnny Blanchard. 3-9 Fly ball to center field. Bill Verdon is under it. He makes the grab. And now Clete Boyer with 2 outs and nobody on. 4-5 is a ground ball to second base. Bill Mazeroski has it. Flips the first. 3 up and 3 down. We go to the bottom of the 7th. The Yankees are down to their last 6 outs. Pirates 2 and New York 0. We're playing basic Stratomatic, but I am using the fatigue rules for pitchers. And Turley as a starter, fatigue comes up in the 7th inning, so 3 bad things happen to Bob Turley. All the X's on the cards become base hits. Now, if you're playing advanced, it's the dots after things become base hits, but on basic, the double pluses, like for example there, would become a base hit. All right, here is Bill Verdon. 6-9 is a drive by Verdon. It could be, it is off the top of the wall. It's going to be a 2-base hit for Bill Verdon. 1 through 10 would have been a home run. Leadoff double. And I think the Yankees are going to make a change here. Timeout. New pitcher for the Yankees will be reliever Bill Stafford. He was the first man brought in relief. He was 3-1 with a 2.25 ERA in 1960. Dick Groat steps into the box. Here's the pitch to Dick Groat. 1-8 is a 1-base single. That's an infield hit for Groat, first and third. Pirates threatening to add runs here late. Bob Skinner. Yankees will play the infield in. 4-7. Base hit. And so that scores Verdon 3-0. And the runner on first. Verdon is pretty fast. He's going to go to third. And it won't be a throw. First and third. Three nothing Pirates. Yankees change it up and move their infield back. Maybe try to get a double play. Here's a pitch to Rocky Nelson. 6-7 is a ground ball to Bobby Richardson at second base. He is rated 2. Defensive check. 2-2 is a single 1-base advance. Another run scores, and it's now Pirates 4-0 over New York. Here's Clemente. 6-10, line drive to third base, caught by Clete Boyer. That could have been dangerous if it went down the line. That would have scored a couple of runs. 1 away. Bill Stafford has not been a mystery. Smokey Burgess. 4-6. That's a possible double. 1-13. That's going to be a 2-base hit, 2-base advance. That scores Skinner. Nelson goes to third. And now it is Pirates 5-0. Timeout. All right, there's visit to the mound, and they're telling the pitcher to walk Don Hoke, the pitch to Bill Mazeroski. And set up a double play. Now with the bases loaded and forced at any base, they're going to bring in a new pitcher, Ralph Terry, be brought in to pitch for New York, 10-8, 3.40 ERA. Can Bill Mazeroski be the hero and clear the bases and let the horses out of the barn? Here's the pitch to Mazeroski. 5-10. Line drive to the third base, caught by Clete Boyer. 2 outs. And now the pitcher, Vern Law. Pitching a shutout. But they're up by 5. He's going to hit 1-7 is a ground ball to Bobby Richardson at second base to throw to first. 3 outs. Pirates leave them loaded, but they score 3 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. We go to the top of the 8th. Pittsburgh 5 and New York nothing. Yankee pitcher due to lead off the 8th inning. It's going to be a short day for Ralph Terry. He will give way to Gil McDougall, a pitch hitter. Warming in the bullpen is Bobby Shantz. He'll pitch the bottom of the 8th inning for New York. Here's the pitch to McDougall from Vern Law. 2-2 is a foul ball, catchable by Smokey Burgess. He makes the catch. 1 away. Here's Bobby Richardson. 5-10 is a ground ball to Dick Grote at shortstop. He is rated 2. 7-2 is an out. He makes the play. 2 outs. And now Tony Kubek. Five, 7 popped up to first base. Rocky Nelson puts it away. 3 outs. Go to the bottom of the 8th. Pirates are 3 outs away from World Series victory. 5-0 Pittsburgh. All right, earlier we said there were 5 MVPs, league MVPs in the Yankee lineup. That would be Maris, Mantle, Elston Howard, I think Whitey Ford, and the 5th one was Bobby Shantz. Shantz comes in to pitch for the Yankees in the bottom of the 8th inning. He was an MVP while pitching with the Philadelphia Athletics about 8 years ago. Here's a pitch to Bobby Shantz, or from Bobby Shantz to Bill Verdon of the Pirates. That is a something 6. 1-6. And that's a ground ball to the first baseman, Moose Skowron. He takes it unassisted. 1 out. Yankees batting from the top of the lineup. They batted around in the 7th inning, or Pirates are batting from the top of the lineup after hitting around in the 7th. Dick Grote. 1-7 is a fly ball to left field. That's Yogi Berra. Bob Skinner's turn to bat. He is 2 for 4 with 2 singles. 5-6 is a strikeout. 3 outs. We go to the top of the 9th. Pirates 5 and the Yankees nothing. The top of the 9th inning is the fatigue inning for Vern Law. He pitched 272 innings in 1960. Those days are over. Vern Law is throwing a shutout. He has allowed only 4 Yankee hits and 1 walk. Roger Maris. 3-4 is a drive. It might be. It could be. It is out of here. Roger Maris, the AL MVP, goes deep, gets the Yankees on the board. Now 5-1, Pittsburgh. All right, Pirate fans get a little uneasy in their seats. One of them just dropped the dice off the table. They know what the Bronx Bombers can do. Here's Hector Lopez. 3-8, ground ball to shortstop. Dick Grote scoops it, throws the first. 1 away. Just 2 to go. Yogi Berra steps into the box. Yogi, a bad ball, unorthodox hitter, swings from the left side. 5-5 is a swing and a miss, strike 3. Vern Law about to nail down a complete game victory. The only obstacle now is Bill Skowron. Here's the pitch. 4-4 is a fly ball to right field. Bobby Clemente makes the catch, and that is the final out of the 1960 World Series. The Pittsburgh Pirates 5, New York Yankees 1. The Pirates are the world champions for the first time since 1925. There will be celebrations in Pittsburgh tonight. We'll be back with a wrap-up. All right, the Pittsburgh Pirates win the 7th game of the 1960 World Series. The Yankees scored only 1 run on 5 hits, no errors. Pirates had 5 runs on 13 hits, and they committed 1 error. Losing pitcher was Bob Turley, 6 innings pitched, 3 earned runs. And Vern Law was the victor, 9 innings pitched, a complete game, 1 earned run. Big Road had a good game. He was 3 for 5, 2 singles, a double. But Vern Law will be the star of the game. And I loved watching Game 7 of the 1960 World Series on my black and white TV at home. I was 7 years old at the time. I still remember watching that game. And it was a 1 o'clock day game. I don't know what day of the week it was. It must have been a Saturday or Sunday. Of course, nowadays, with the World Series games starting late at night in the Midwest, me as an 8-year-old probably wouldn't have been allowed to watch all that game, or maybe just some of it. And, I think being able to watch the day games, sometimes I had day World Series games where teachers brought TVs to school for a World Series game. I definitely remember that happening in the 1964 World Series, watching it from school. But anyway, baseball's different now. I'm not sure it's better. Hope you enjoyed this game. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. And tomorrow we'll take another iconic moment and celebrate that. It'll be I'm thinking about the 1938 2 no-hitters in a row pitched by Johnny Vandermeer and the Cincinnati Reds. That'll be tomorrow's game. Have a good day. Hit the subscription button if you've not already, and the like button if you like what you see. Thanks for watching. God bless.